But I wanted to add something about pre-sales or sales. You know, the market is tight, but I had a conversation with David Glasser 3 days ago, and he's personally guaranteeing $70 million in sales for the film 9. Now, I know, you know, everyone under the sun is in the movie 9, and you guys aren't making that movie. But my point is that the buyers are there. If the movies are good, the buyers are there. You don't need to pre-sell $70 million for your film. But just know that the market hasn't entirely collapsed. If the movie's fresh, you know, you don't need to rely on pre-sales, but they're there. So just my advice is keep your budgets as low as possible, and you won't have to worry about that concern.
It's the Weinstein Company, they can do that.
Yeah.
You know,
really stick with equity and tax credits. Tax credits are increasing. More and more states are implementing tax credit programs. So, you know, as one sector of funding is eroding a little bit, there's movement on the other side of the spectrum to be able to pick up that slack.
Yeah, I mean, there's states where you can get 40% tax credits against your spend, which you'll probably net somewhere around 30%. And then there's states that are offered 30%, so you'll get maybe 20%. Because somebody's got to put up the capital against that credit. So
explain that, like the spend.
Yeah, you're going to spend, let's say it's a $10 million movie, you're going to go into Louisiana, for example. They will give you a 30% tax credit against that spend. So if you spend the whole $10 million there, they'll give you a $3 million tax credit. You're allowed to go sell that tax credit to a state income tax payer, whether it's an individual or a corporation. You can come to a company like myself or others or a bank that will pre-fund that credit. And let's say they'll give you, I don't know, 75 cents on the dollar because they're going to sell that credit at somewhere around 85, 88 cents. So you'll net 75 cents per dollar of credit. You can use that money, you'll get that money, and it's like a construction draw if you're familiar with real estate. So you'll get that money and you can use that against the film, and you're going to account for every penny because we're looking to make sure that that credit has been qualified. And in Louisiana, they use a third-party system where they have a third-party CPA firm which will qualify the entire spend. And when we submit it to the state signs off on it, we take the tax credit, and then we sell that credit to a tax credit payer. It works that way in many states. The states are Massachusetts, Missouri, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, Rhode Island, West Virginia, Alaska, Arizona, Connecticut, Georgia, Illinois, Iowa, and Louisiana. Those are the transferable states. The other states, and there's another 30 states out there that are fully refundable states, where you can go to the state, make your movie, submit your spend to them, and they will give you a refund, a percentage against what you spent. So if it's 30% on a $10 million movie, they will actually give you a $3 million refund for shooting in that state.
And there's some places like Quebec that'll give you, I think, 50% back on post. Is that right? Yeah. So look outside. You know, once you make your movie, then think about post. Where would you go to? You know, maybe go to Quebec and get 50%, which is a good rate.
Craig, how do you? What are some of the requirements to qualify? I know it's different from state to state, but can you give just a?
You have to work with the state film commission, and you have to apply through their revenue department or treasury or tax department. So you make your application, tell them you're coming to the state, you're going to put your application in, and then you set up your accounting, just like you would anywhere, and you're going to keep good records of what you spend there because they do scrutinize it.
Like what happened in Iowa, right?
Yeah, in Iowa, somebody decided to get a little cheeky and decided to buy a couple of cars and put those in under their budget and keep the cars. They weren't used in the movie whatsoever.
Where's Ely's on you?
Yeah.
I had 2 weeks before a movie of mine was going to go and shoot there, and they ended up spending $1 million building this ship. It was a movie called Blackbeard, and we had to shut down production because of that. So that got really nasty.
Yeah, they've shut down the program there right now. They're very upset at producers that have been inflating the budgets. Some things like that happened in Louisiana, but they that. Those people went to jail for a very long time. So it doesn't pay to do things that are not kosher with your budgets. Be honest, show them what you're spending, because they're giving you a lot of money for nothing. What they're doing is they want to create jobs. Their whole goal is to build an industry within their state, create jobs, and it does create jobs. And the more movies that are made there, Louisiana is the best example. Started about 7, 8 years ago. They're now the 3rd largest production state behind New York and California. They've got crew there. They've got production services there. And they originally started at 20%, went to 25%. Now it's 30%. Illinois has a great program. Illinois, you can put your application in the day before you shoot, and they will approve it and start your movie. Massachusetts, Georgia is very aggressive right now. There's lots of crew in Georgia.
But what about those free little, where they do location scouting, where they can you actually get there and then they can pay for everything? What is it?
Well, there's Connecticut. There's some guys in Connecticut that are friends of mine that you can go there, and they offer location scouting, and then they actually will sell your credits there for their competitors and the like. But